gets ready. The fans have been getting ready all afternoon. It's happy hour in Stillwater. The Cowgirls and the Sooners. 8 losses over the last 3 seasons for Oklahoma. That's it. But 2 of those losses at the hands of Oklahoma State. Including one here 2 years ago that snapped the Sooners' 57-game conference winning streak. As you check out the lineup for the Sooners, there's 300 hitters with power all up and down the lineup. Alyssa Brito, 12 home runs this season, including a grand slam in Tuesday's win against Tulsa. It's a much different story for Maxwell and the Cowgirls. They lost midweek to North Texas, their 7th loss in their last 9 games. So they are trying to get back on their feet to head into the Big 12 tournament down the road in Oklahoma City next weekend, where they will defend their title.
Jada Coleman has had a really good eye in her career against Kelly Maxwell. She's taken 4 walks against her in her previous plate appearances. These 2 teams, they've seen each other a lot.
Here's the 3-1. And the count goes full. Last year's Bedlam down in Norman was a sweep for the Sooners. Yeah, the goosebumps are out early. Jada Coleman at the plate, one of the front runners for National Player of the Year honors. She is one of the 3 Sooners on the top 10 finalist list that came out this week, along with Jordy Ball and Tiara Jennings. Flails at that to fight it off.
Maxwell continues to throw that curveball running away from Coleman. Jada, when you watch her swing, she has that split grip, and she looks like she's leaning away from that outside pitch, but that's actually the pitch she hits the best.
So much power and speed with Coleman.
Yeah, she's reached base in 45 of their 47 games this year. And a called strike 3.
What a way to get back into the count by Kelly Maxwell. A couple of times in this at-bat, Jada Coleman thought she was going to take a walk, and then Kelly Maxwell comes with this low rise ball on the inner half. Michelle, you were talking about how pitchers like to throw Coleman outside, but Maxwell goes to the inside corner and freezes her.
One down, and here is Tiara Jennings, the nation's RBI leader the past 2 seasons out of San Pedro, California. In fact, she is #1 in the country amongst active players in runs batted in just her junior season. That 1-0 just missed away. Sooners have already secured the Big 12 regular season championship for the 11th year in a row. When we asked Patty Gasso if that may change their mindset coming in this week, she said, absolutely not. We don't know how to hold back. Our guys don't know how to play holding back, so we will be all in all weekend. She used a great line. She said it's a catapult into the postseason for us. And between this and the Big 12 tournament next weekend.
Well, it's the atmosphere. You know, they thrive off this. It's Bedlam. It's their rivals right up the road.
And Jennings does draw the 1-out walk and a base runner here for the Sooners.
Kelly Maxwell just continuing to fall behind. Both these hitters, 3-0 counts. It has been a bit of an issue when you look at her walks per 7 innings.
57th walk on the year. And that's, to me, one of the reasons why her ERA is a little more elevated this year than it was last year, because of those free passes.
Meanwhile, the strategy for Kenny Gajewski, who's gotten the Cowgirls to the World Series the last 3 years running, including a trip to the semis last year. He said, hey, we're going for it on opening night. Friday night is a chance for us to win and maybe put a little pressure on Oklahoma. And it's certainly massive for their resume, because how you finish out late in the season is one of the pieces of criteria for the selection committee.
I remember, too, Kelly threw in that midweek game against North Texas that Oklahoma State ended up losing. So we were wondering, will we see her on Friday night, or will she pitch a little bit later? And Kenny Gajewski said, we're going to sell out for that first game of the series.
Well, and throughout these games over the last couple weeks that they've lost, the pitching actually has been pretty stellar. It's mostly been the hitting. They haven't scored the runs. And the defense. They've booted the ball around a little bit as of late.
Well, the other thing they did sell out was all the tickets for this one. They were going for several $100 online this week. They added additional bleachers out beyond the fence down the right field line. They'll set a new attendance record this weekend. So Kenny said, hey, we're going to give the fans what they came to see, and that's our best party dress that we can put on.
Looks good. I love those bleachers out there in right field. Really rounds it out.
It's just a huge final weekend of the regular season with so much at stake around the country. Here's the 3-1 to Sanders, a swing and miss.
It's a nasty pitch right there, Michelle. That off-speed pitch that drops a little bit of pitch that she has to have that pitch working. And not just throw it. I mean, yeah, you always want to show it even if it's not working, but to throw it like that, even it would have potentially been a called strike if Sanders wouldn't have swung at it.
3 straight 3-ball counts for Maxwell to open up the ball game. Sanders is one of the big transfers. Of course, the portal has become such a big part of the game. Coming over from Arizona State and really struggled the first half of the season to find her footing. But in the last 8 games, 3 home runs. She was a first-team All-American with the Sun Devils. Right back up the middle, and it scoots through. Jennings will hold at second, just out of the reach of Naomi, who was thinking about grabbing that, stepping on the bag, and turning 2.
Sid Sanders gets herself in a good situation. It's a full count, fouls off a pitch, and then she gets one she can handle on the outer half and just hops it right back up the middle. It gets over Maxwell's glove, and it gets past Naomi, going back up the middle.
And immediately a runner in scoring position here for OU with 1 out. It's their number 4 hitter, Kinsey Hansen. 414 on the season for Hansen with 43 RBI.
You guys hear how loud Oklahoma is in that dugout right now. Remember, this is in Stillwater. We are not in Norman, but by the sound and energy that they are bringing in the dugout, this is how they like to play. Patty Gasso says that they love to create chaos in all these different ways, including inside the dugout.
This is a team that is not complacent. 38-game win streak, and they celebrate everything.
1-1 now to Hansen. Well, they've been in plenty of hostile situations this year. Perhaps this the most vocal against their arch rivals, but 17-0 on the year against ranked opponents as they get set in a couple of years' time to make the move to the SEC. Next year could be the final bedlam for a while. In for a strike to Kinsey, 1-2.
I think that's the thing about Kelly Maxwell, Michelle, is that she can throw her rise ball literally in every single quadrant. So low and away, low and in, up and out, up and in. I mean, any quadrant, she can spot that rise ball. Such good rotation.
Yeah, it's that great lefty spin and that movement that's late and sharp. But that off speed, when she can throw that just at the top of the knees and let it dive down, that's going to be the pitch that's so important. It's got to be top of knee lower throughout this entire game.
Another one fouled off. Already up to 23 pitches for Maxwell here through the first 4 batters. Not even through yet. About 50-50 the balls and strikes. Missed it low, 2-2.
You can tell already too that taking a lot of pitches, fouling off a lot of pitches. This is a pitcher in the circle that you can tell when she's on, when she is getting swings and misses. 41% whiff rate or 42% whiff rate. She's used to seeing that ball miss barrels.
2-2 for Maxwell.
Spoiling it.
Oklahoma's good at just getting rid of pitches. They're patient. They know what they're hunting.
The plate discipline.
Well, and what they're hitting with 2 strikes. 322 average with 2 strikes. And we've seen that even apparent in this inning.
Another 2-2. Got her. 2 strikeouts, 2 down.
See, rise ball that also moves a little bit away from Kenzie Hansen too, gets her to swing and miss. We were just talking about it, and where Kelly Maxwell gets the majority of her swings and misses, this is her heat map. That red area is where she gets the majority of them. That low rise ball that it points to was that outside pitch that Kenzie Hansen just struck out on. And then she can also go down in the zone with that little bit of red toward the bottom of the zone with her drop ball and her off-speed pitch.
That'll bring up Alyssa Brito, still with the 2 on and 2 outs. Hitting over 500 with power in her last 8 games for the junior from Tustin. And comes in with the modest 5-game hit streak. The walk to Jennings, the single for Sanders.
That pitch again, and you know the thing that she does so well too, Amanda, she blends that like backdoor curve rise ball together. They come out of the same tunnel, and so you really have to watch the rotation to figure out, is it going to keep cutting or is it going up?
Brito might get something to look at here. 2-0.
Well, and I think what creates that backdoor movement with her rise ball, Michelle, is the fact that she kind of steps across her body.
Yes.
But, it can also hide her release point, especially from a right-handed hitter. If she's stepping across her body, it hides her wrist at her hip whenever she's going to release. It can make her even trickier to hit against.
7 righties in the Sooner lineup tonight. Here's the 3-0 to Brito. Takes.
3 of the 4 hitters have just gone to 3-0 against them with 3 balls.
30 pitches thrown this
Yeah,
inning.
that's a 3-ball count on everybody so far. On a very hot and muggy night here in Stillwater, it feels close to 90 with the high humidity, which we were noticing in BP may also be affecting the flight of the ball on occasion. There is not a breeze to speak of.
No.
Plenty of fans, some cold beverages to keep folks cool. Just a great atmosphere. Standing room only around the entire park tonight. And the bases are loaded early here for Oklahoma with 2 outs for Haley Lee. 2 walks in the inning from Maxwell.
Well, and to your point, Amanda, just 2 of the 9 hitters are left-handed for Oklahoma. And Lee has been especially good against lefties. 3 home runs, a .533 batting average against the Southpaws.
They are number 1 in the country as a team, home runs per game. The last inning they were in against Tulsa included a grand slam in the 7th inning for Alyssa Brito the other night. Away in the dirt, 2-0.
Almost to me looks like the ball is slipping out of her hand a little bit on some of these pitches. Do you see that? And immediately Taylor Tuck had to go out and talk to her.
Just not a lot of room too, because as we mentioned, she steps across a little bit so that arm slides, it hits that hip, and it just squeezes the ball out, especially if you don't have a good grip, a little bit of perspiration.
Allie Lee, the 5th-year transfer from Texas A&M, and a former All-American when she was in Aggie Land, is now up 3-0.
You got to absolutely take right here, right?
Yeah.
She's just not even come close to the strike zone.
If you follow the Sooners and you're wondering why she's not wearing number 45, by the way, left it back at the Hodel. So had to pick up a new jersey, and it just happens to be the number that she wore at Texas A&M. So there you go, 2-5. 2 outs, bases loaded. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And Maxwell walks in a run. It's her 3rd free pass of the inning. 1-0 Oklahoma. And every coach that we talk to, guys, that gets ready to play Oklahoma, the first thing they say is you can't help them.
No, you
can't give them a freebie.
Well, because on the year, they just have coming into today's game, 113 strikeouts. So they've had 2 in this inning. So 115 strikeouts, but to 191 walks, including 3 more. So that puts them at 194.
Here's Grace Lyons, one of the veterans of their back-to-back national championships. Their 5th title in the last 9 years. And in the last decade, they have been in the championship series 7 times. That's how good the run has been.
So much credit to Oklahoma for being so patient.
Yeah.
Some of these have just been blatant balls, yes, but some of them have been really close pitches to the zone. They've had a couple of good takes.
Well, I'm sure when John went out to talk to Kelly, Patty was talking to her offense and saying, look, you're not swinging until you get a strike.
Catches the corner, 2-1.
You know, Kelly, too, you can see the orange towel that she has in her back pocket that she's using, but underneath that is a little bit of a gorilla. They call it a gorilla grip, and I'm surprised she's not using that a little bit more. Help that grip.
Lyons sends that one the opposite way. Carwile has it. And they leave them loaded, but one.
Also mix in that changeup. She changes speeds very well. Gets a ton of swings and misses, very similar to Kelly Maxwell.
Played through the pain of an arm injury the second half of the season last year. Still managed to make huge contributions for them in their postseason run towards the national championship. And after a bit of a slow start to this season, she has worked her way back into top form. Has not allowed a run in her last 10 appearances. That goes back to March, so over a month since the Texas series. And a home run for Mia Scott. Here's a look at your lineup, and one of the best new additions in the country is right at the top with Rachel Becker. One of the most improved players in the country, Kylie Naomi. Now, she went from All-American a couple years ago to the numbers falling off last season, and now right back up towards that All-America conversation again.
This Oklahoma State lineup familiar with Jordy Ball, saw her last year, and one of the things about this OSU offense is they came out very hot at the beginning of the year. Last couple games, the batting average has been a little bit lower.
And Rachel Becker opens things up with a walk. So the leadoff aboard, tying run is on after Oklahoma State dodged a big one in the top half of the inning. The one run in, but the Sooners left the bases loaded. As Kelly Maxwell struggled to find the strike zone, will that carry over into the bottom of the inning? Here's Talon Edwards, the freshman from just south of Oklahoma City, and the Michelle Smith Award recipient.
Great athlete. Another one of those young kids that should actually be a senior in high school, but graduated early.
They can't wait to be a part of this bedlam.
Absolutely.
Tired of watching the stands. They want to be out on the field. Tell Jordy Ball throws with good velocity. Throw in the upper 60s, will hit 70 miles an hour. She's so competitive with that confidence and swag that she has in the circle. It's, times will she get the ball in the big games, even pitch that game in Hall of Fame Stadium against Texas.
Wants it. Loves this environment, feeds off of it.
And she gets her to reach. First strikeout for Ball, one away.
Well, and this is what Ball does so well, is that she'll work from ahead and then she'll expand the zone. And that last pitch against Talon Edwards, she just, on an 0-2 pitch, gets Edwards to just fish for a pitch that is well off the plate. That's a drop ball. It's slightly elevated, but it's way out. You can see the way that Kinsey Hansen, the catcher, is set up on that outer half.
Talon Edwards passing on information to the rest of the hitters on deck and in the dugout about what she saw.
Here is Naomi. From a 224 hitter last year up to 368 this season. The grad student out of Lafayette, Louisiana, is playing in her 256th career game. That's more than any active player in the college game.
She has anchored that shortstop position since she arrived in Stillwater.
Let's see if Kenny Gajewski gets a little aggressive too on the bases. A lot of teams are hesitant to run on the Sooners. Becker's 9 for 9 in her attempts. Looking to generate some offense. The struggles over the last 9 games, a lot of that has been, Kenny told us we've been hitting it hard, just not at the right time.
Yeah.
The Risp and the 2-out hits.
Been getting them on, just not getting them over to score them.
Naomi doesn't chase the rise.
We talked about the swing and miss rate for Kelly Maxwell, who's the best in the country, but just behind her is Jordy Ball. A few percentage points down at 37% of the swings that are taken against her swing and misses.
Two-two pitch. Full count.
Be interesting to see if they put Becker in motion on a 3-2 count.
Becker goes, pitch is fouled off.
I like that call.
Yeah.
I would have done it too. I mean, you have to be careful, obviously, anything out of the zone. You don't want your hitter swinging. You don't want to strike him out, throw him out. But I like that. Good pitch. Naomi hits it. Slightly foul.
Tries to take off that double play opportunity too. To force out at second if the ball is on the ground.
Another one fouled out.
You can just tell, I mean, we're only in the first inning, and every pitch just feels so tense in this rivalry game, and we're only in the bottom of the first, and every pitch just, you can tell, feels like it means so much in this game.
Well, you know you got to start out well, right? You got to stay close. You got to start believing and building a little confidence against Oklahoma. Maybe make the Sooners start thinking about what's going on a little bit. It was a tight game the other day against Tulsa. They finally broke through in the 7th.
Well, and Oklahoma's pitching staff as of late has been really good. Their last 4 games, they have given up no walks. So that's the first walk in the last 4 games. 29 strikeouts for the staff. They've given up just 2 runs. So when Oklahoma gives you a gift, a walk, a leadoff walk, you've got to be able to do something with it.
Ball 4.
And that's important right there, the energy. When Naomi turned around and threw her bat back, there was some emotion, some energy out of her, and that's what the Cowgirls need, because that's been lacking just a little bit these last 7 or 8 games where they've struggled a little bit.
So that is 5 walks in the first inning for the 2 All-Americans, the 2 co-Big 12 pitchers of the year from last season. Here's Michaela Wark. Redshirt freshman out of Frisco, Texas, who started her career at Kansas before transferring in. RBI opportunity here. Tying run at second, the go-ahead at first with just the 1 out.
You know, we talk a lot about Oklahoma's offense, and rightfully so for the numbers that they've put up for the past 3 years, but their pitching and their team ERA on the season is best in the country. But then when you look inside of Big 12 play, you guys, you're not going to believe this. Their team ERA in Big 12 play is .44. Jordy Ball, .21. She's only given up 1 earned run in Big 12 play.
Yeah, the numbers are staggering.
Well, and when you talk about what they've been doing, you know, they're 15-0 in the league this year. And during this 38-game win streak, only 5 opponents have scored more than 1 run on them, so they don't come easy. And a chance here right away for the Pokes.
After she offers that swing right there, Michelle, I'm going right back to something out of the zone. I'm not coming anything close. Climb the ladder a little bit more. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Above the homer.
Work in foul territory. Sanders gloves it. So she did go back upstairs to get the second out.
Surprised, though, it wasn't even more out of the zone.
You thought it should have been a run or 2 up?
Yeah, a run or 2, yeah. You can tell that she's a little nervous or amped up or adrenaline running, because a couple of walks and just noticing the location of some of her pitches. Some of these misses are really big misses that she's throwing to these hitters. We saw the same thing from Kelly, too, on the other side. Here's
Cheyenne Factor, grad student from Yukon, Oklahoma, launches that deep to left. Back it goes, and out of here! 3-run home run! Cowgirls on top! Absolutely crushed her 4th of of the season.
And Cheyenne Factor was smart. The senior goes up, first pitch swinging. You know why? She saw her teammate, Rourke, get a first pitch strike that was fat. Rourke did not throw at her. Factor's going up saying, hey, if she puts that down Broadway, I'm going to go get it. And she does. She barrels that up and blasts that out of the park. A 3-run shot for Factor. Her 4th home run of the year puts the Cowgirls up.
Second game in a row, Cheyenne has gone yard.
Well, and Michelle, too, you could tell that she had backed off the plate. She had given herself room on the inner half. Again, when you look at the heat map of Jordy Ball, she likes to throw on her arm side up and into a right-handed hitter. And Cheyenne Factor, Michelle, just went up looking for a pitch on the inner half.
Caitlin Carwile.
And aggressive. A lot of dominant pitchers like a Jordy Ball, but they want to get ahead early, especially in pressure situations. It's probably the best pitch you're going to see at times.
So during this 38-game win streak, the Sooners have trailed for a grand total of 10 innings. They will trail after the first in this one. Just a question of how much. Cheyenne Factor, the 3-run shot, has rattled OU early.
That's huge to answer back.
Well, on the free passes as well.
Yes.
You know, hurting Jordy Ball.
Should have been a solo shot, right, Smitty?
Yep.
Don't get her started.
Well,
Matt.
2 base runners were free.
Yeah, you talk to a lot of coaches and they'll say, look, in today's environment, it's tough to keep the ball in the yard. We can live with the solo shot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what happens before the solo shot that becomes a 2 or a 3-run home run.
First earned runs Ball has given up in over a month. The first home run since that Texas game we talked about on March 31st. Two-1 to Carwile out of Purcell, Oklahoma. She's got a hit in 7 of her last 8 games.
Got to give credit to Rachel Becker for leading off this game. First time hitting off of Jordy Ball, first Bedlam game that she's played in, and drawing the walk to start off this inning.
Well, they have cashed in their chance after Oklahoma did not. Remember, the Sooners had the bases loaded in that first inning, only got 1 home. And now both starting pitchers have walked 3 batters. Better make sure your pantry's loaded tonight, folks. Send the kids out, throw a few more beverages in the fridge. You might need them. We could be here a while. Here's Morgan Wynn. That is laced and over the head of Riley Boone. It'll reach the wall. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. Second extra base hit off of Ball this inning.
She had only given up 1 in Big 12 play coming into this game, and now Oklahoma State, as you mentioned, 2 in the same inning. Morgan Wynn is a player who's gotten hot and more aggressive as the season has gone on, goes up swinging early in the count. These Oklahoma hitters are having a lot of success on the first pitch, going up and being aggressive against Ball.
Well, guys, we talked about the timely hits being the issue, right, for this poor stretch for Oklahoma State. Not the case tonight. Hitting with runners in scoring position, hitting with 2 outs.
All those situational statistics that are so important.
Chance to get a couple more in. Taylor Tuck, the 8th to the plate. The hometown girl. gets the swing and the miss, but the early lead for the Pokes.
You can tell, Michelle, that Cheyenne Factor
Game OU and Texas at Hall of Fame Stadium this season. Three walks apiece for the starting pitchers. Both teams had the bases loaded at one point. Oklahoma State got more of theirs home as we start the second. Riley Boone, 8-9, and then the top. Riley, who is often in the 9 spot, moves up one. Sophia Nugent on deck, gets the start in right field tonight, and then back to the top. Riley, outstanding last year at the Women's College World Series.
Tell Oklahoma trying to take control of the timing of these at-bats, calling timeout a few times. Good, nice off-speed pitch there by Kelly, but Oklahoma is just not wanting to stand in the box. They're trying to control the tempo. Kelly Maxwell taking a long time in between pitches.
Boone is a tough out. Last couple of weeks, her on-base percentage has been .500. And a base knock. Tying run immediately to the plate for OU.
It's one of the things that Oklahoma does so well is they respond. They never really panic. You know, they have an offense that can put runs up, and they go out there and they do their job. They're very good at getting that leadoff on.
Well, when you've got the #1 batting average, the #1 on-base percentage, the #1 slugging, the #1 home runs per game, you're also going to be the #1 scoring team in the country, which they are. For a while this year, they were averaging double digits.
It's been a really big inning for Oklahoma. Just looking at their game notes, in the second inning, they're outscoring opponents 102-2 in the second inning, which is staggering numbers, as they all are.
Well, and they're already going to get the top of the order back around in just 2 innings time. You'll note the pitch count here already for Kelly Maxwell, so there could be an opportunity in this heat and humidity tonight to get at her as the game progresses if you're OU. Of course, she's an All-American for a reason and has been more rested with their pitching staff this year. Kenny Gajewski very conscious of making sure she's at her best in the postseason.
I think last year, a lot of people would say she probably ran out of gas at the Women's College World Series. Just a lot of innings on her arm. But you always wonder, what's that fine line for some pitchers who need to throw a little bit more to stay sharper? I mean, to me, she has not been as sharp this year when it comes to locating her pitches, the walks, the free passes well up. Maybe making some mechanical adjustments.
Well, and Kenny even said, you know, we've protected her up to this point. We're going to lean on her down the stretch. And so I'm interested to see how they use her in a 3-game series this weekend. Do they start her game 1 and game 3? Do they bring her in relief tomorrow or in game 3? I think they're going to start to lean on her a little bit more.
2-2 to Nugent. Just her 4th at-bat of the season against a left-hander, and she's now 0 for 4 as Maxwell gets the strikeout, 1 down.
It's that off-speed pitch that just falls off the table, and Nugent chases his pitch out of the zone, but it starts at the knees and then falls well below the knees. Gets Nugent to swing over the top of it. Off-speed pitch by Maxwell. 3 strikeouts the first time through the order against OU.
And one of those was Jada Coleman looking to open up the ball game. Got her with a rise ball. And here comes Jada back around again. .450 hitter on the season. She's added more muscle, added more power. Her first 2 years, 17 home runs. This year, already 13. Making her 170th career start tonight. Hasn't missed one in an OU uniform.
Yeah, overall too, when you look at her numbers, that just hitting more fly balls, more doubles, more home runs. She got stronger, and I loved when Patty Gasso told us that she's our playmaker. She's our quote-unquote party starter. And, you know, Jada Coleman lives for Bedlam moments.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and that comes in and hits her. I think it got the protective arm gear that she has on there. But still grimacing as she gets down to first base, which will bump Boone over to second.
Rise ball trying to get up and in, ends up hitting her elbow, or is it her hand? Did not sound good.
She'll stay in the game over at first, and here's Tiare Jennings, walked and scored their run in the first. What a combo these two have been. Of course, no Jocelyn Allo this year, the grad, the all-time home run leader in college softball history. But you got Coleman and Jennings, the lefty-righty that have been together at the top there for the last 3 years, continuing to do the work this year. Jennings, slow roller to second. Becker makes the tag, and the ball pops out. But the out was recorded prior to that. 2 down with runners on the corners on the fielder's choice.
It's a big out right there, considering how clutch Tiare Jennings is.
First and third for Sanders, who singled back up the middle in the first.
That's that backdoor curveball that Kelly, she looks like she's being careful on that outer half. First pitch strike number is really low through this first 2 innings.
You can see too how far off the plate that Sydney Sanders is, and Kelly Maxwell just trying to clip that outside corner. It's umpire 9. Not expanding the zone often.
Two to Sanders. Sanders sends that to deep center, and that is out of here. And the quick counter from the top-ranked Sooners as Sanders continues to swing a hot bat. And OU is back in front.
Sanders just jumping on a 2-0 pitch and sending this out of the yard. Kelly Maxwell throwing just one first pitch strike in this game, and behind 2-0 has to come to the plate to try to get Sanders, and Sanders just connects and drives this ball out of the yard. Sid Sanders hot as of late. 5th home run of the year, a 3-run shot for Sanders.
And that's her 4th in her last 9 games, a 3-run shot. All 7 runs on the board, by the way, have come with 2 outs. So there has been plenty of clutchness at the plate thus far.
I mean, how big is it to get Sydney Sanders going? We started to see her get going in that Texas series, and I think we talked about it when we were calling those games too. And you can tell the confidence that Patty Gasso has in the transfer, the sophomore, to put her in the 3 spot up in the lineup.
I remember she had the walk-off single in one of those games against Texas.
That's right.
After the Longhorns had threatened to break up their winning streak. Hansen also had a walk-off, a pair of those against the Longhorns in Norman, which, by the way, back home in Norman, they have won 60 straight. Back to February of 2020. And, of course, the expectation is they will be the #1 seed in the tournament and would host a regional and a super regional as long as they keep winning. They have not lost a regional or super regional game since 2019, and they bounced back to win the series. That was Wisconsin. One-two to Hansen. Remember that thing I said about the humidity may keep the balls in the park? Let's forget about that. Let's
Well, the wind's starting to pick up too.
get a redo on that.
The wind is picking up.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Michelle, for rescuing me from.
You're welcome. Well, with those home run shots, I don't think they needed. They didn't need the wind. They were going out anyway.
No, they were well struck.
"62 pitches that she's thrown, not even through 2 innings.
In the first of a 3-game series. Called strike 3 gets Hansen. But the 3-run home run from Sanders.
Sid Sanders is
5 upsets in the regionals for road teams, 5 more in the super regionals for road teams. Right back to ball 1 down. And as a result, there were 3 unseeded teams at the World Series a year ago. It was a doozy for the Big 12. They had 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four at OKC.
Well, and just feels like a gut punch with how they've been losing. Extra innings, took 2 no-hitters to the 7th inning in that series against Texas and ended up losing both of those games.
Yeah, some hard luck for Lexi Kilfoyle, the other pitcher on the staff that has been getting the second most work.
Well, of those 7 losses, 4 of them extra inning losses that you were just talking about. And, you know, when you really start to look at, it's been lack of run production, so the batting average has come down a little bit. The big hits, less home runs, more strikeouts, less walks.
And then it puts more pressure on the pitchers to be perfect mentally and physically. You can't deny that because that's just a part of the game.
No.
Well, and you build all season long. You try and put what's happened in the past behind you, but the fact remains that if they can make it back to Oklahoma City, they've been, 1 win away from the finals 2 years running and could not close out that last game to get it done. Last year in the semis, they had to beat Texas twice to advance, and the Longhorns, or beat them once, and the Longhorns beat them twice.
Yeah, and they had beat the Longhorns all 4 times they had played them earlier that year.
Been knocking on that door. Well, and really a credit to Kenny and his staff to be able to do it next door to this team that has been so dominant for the past decade.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you're recruiting the same athletes out of the state of Oklahoma, Texas, California.
They want another shot at it. Ground ball to Brito, 2 down.
Well, and Kimmy Gajewski has been so good at using the transfer portal. I mean, you think about, I think it was back in 2019 when Sam Shao came from A&M and transferred over here, and that's really when I feel like Oklahoma State really started to bust up. Maybe a couple years even before that, but Sam Shao, in my mind, was the big first transfer that I remember coming over here, and now, I mean, he hits the jackpot left and right. Rachel Becker is leadoff hitter, Morgan Wynn in the 7-hole, and of course Lexi Kilfoyle from Alabama.
2 down, here's Talon Edwards. Which means that as a coaching staff, but also your upperclassmen, you're spending a lot of time building team chemistry up at the start of every season and trying to maintain that and build that trust.
And they did a lot of that in the fall. They brought in a program called The Program, run by former SEALs and military.
Chopped to second base. Jennings is there, and a 1-2-3 inning for Jordy Ball. 4th row, and it's lasted for 12 years since they've lost a conference series. Game 1 of Bedlam here tonight.
Well, they lost to Baylor earlier this year in a non-conference game.
And then
went down and
whooped them
last weekend
in league play. Yeah.
Starting to see Oklahoma chase that down pitch a little bit more, that drop ball that she's throwing. Getting a few more swings and misses than what she did in the first inning. That's really how you start to know and see if Kelly Maxwell is feeling comfortable and having success in a night, as if she's getting those swings and misses.
Brito, Lee, and Lyons do up 5, 6, and 7. Sooners 1 run in the first, and then Sanders with the 3-run home run in the second. After Oklahoma State had grabbed the lead on Cheyenne Factor's 3-run home run. This walk back in the first, and the Sooners left the bases loaded. But they are working Kelly Maxwell as that pitch count approaches 70.
A little bit off with the split ratio. Normally you want about 2/3 strikes to just 1/3 balls, and she's at a 50-50 mark.
Yep.
Working behind a lot. 3 passes.
And gets Brito there. Strikeout number 5. 1 down.
Brito doesn't swing and miss a ton. Actually, her swing and miss percentage is the lowest on the team. So Kelly Maxwell gets her to swing through that low rise ball on the outside corner. It's a good pitch that does not bleed back over the heart of the plate. In fact, it moves a little bit away from Brito and gets that swing and miss, a leadoff strikeout.
Here's Haley Lee. Had the offseason coaching changes at both Texas A&M and Arizona State, 2 of the more prominent programs, and so you had a bunch of players coming and going from both of those universities, and now Oklahoma has picked up players from both through the transfer portal.
Boy, Maxwell continues to work that arm side of the plate, but just not very sharp out there.
like too, Michelle, we've just seen her make a lot of the same mistakes over and over again with her pitches. That drop ball that you just saw there, or that rise ball that bleeds too much off the plate and it gets called a ball.
(3-1). Walked her 5th free pass. Well, the ESPN's coverage of the NBA playoffs continue. 2 of those are looking, but 5 total now for Maxwell. High fly ball out the factor in center, and Lyons is retired 2 down.
One pitch out. That's exactly what Kelly Maxwell needs more of in this game with that pitch count. Elevated 75 pitches.
What is that, Smitty? A gift
from the softball guys.
The 1 pitch out.
That's right. It's trust me, truly special when you can throw and get at least 3 or 4 of those in a game. It makes your shoulder feels happy, and as well as your coaches.
Beth Mullins, Michelle Smith, Amanda Scarborough. 2 of us are pitchers who rake, or did rake back in their days.
What position did you play, Mimi?
I did neither. I was a second baseman, constantly fighting the yips. No, I'm just teasing. Utility, I believe, would be next to my name. Utility.
There you go.
Let's see that.
I like the leadoff.
It's versatile.
Yes, versatility. You can't spell utility without. No, wait. Never mind.
Never mind.
This is the last weekend of the regular season. The mayhem is underway. Selection show is a week from Sunday.
That's right. Yeah. Crazy. Where did this year go? I mean, I feel like we just got started and we're in Clearwater for a tournament.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I feel like Selection Sunday is bedlam for us.
Yes, our
Yeah, that's true.
It is a long day, an exciting day.
Can you already feel the stress in the booth from home, folks? Michelle is already losing sleep in her preparation for that. We have a good time. 2 hours of coverage in prime time a week from Sunday night on the Deuce with our selection special and then the 7 innings after party. 3-1 pitch. And Boone draws the walk, so a couple more freebies here in the 3rd.
It's the 5th walk of the game, a hit batter as well.
This makes it so much more stressful for your defense and your pitcher to pitch with runners on base every single inning.
Well, and a reminder here that all 7 runs tonight have been scored with 2 outs. 2 down and 2 on for Nugent. Struck out her first time out.
That's why it's so surprising when you looked at Kelly Maxwell's stats from this year and walking over 3.5 hitters about per 7 innings pitched. Just getting the strikeout, but also giving up quite a few base on balls.
Well, it's one of those things, too, guys. Obviously, somebody else is calling pitches from the dugout, and you're dealing with your catcher. And I mean, how do you get out of sort of a funk when you fall into this type of situation where you're struggling to find the strike zone? You go running back to mama, like whatever your favorite pitch is or the one you're most confident in?
Well, to me, it looks slightly mechanical as well. I mean, her step, her hip is just, slightly in the way, and I'm surprised John's not coming out a little bit more and saying, hey, let's work on stepping a little bit more left, or, just making those adjustments to get that arm past her hip.
2-0 pitch.
Yeah, and I totally agree, Michelle. I think looking at her mechanics and where she's striding out. I don't remember her doing that last year or in years past. Maybe she did. We go back and look at the tape, and it's same old same. But you can tell there's just something not quite synced up with her timing, and it's affecting all of her pitches, really.
Yeah. Well, you're on the verge of walking the 6, 8, and 9 batters here in the inning. She comes in with a strike there.
And it looks to me, too, like she's shaking off quite a bit. She'll do this, with her glove. She'll go up and down her body. That means that she is calling the next pitch with her catcher. That means something between the both of them. Did it again.
Nugent, opposite way. Carwile on the line, side retired, a couple walks, both at-bats for them. And to the bottom of the third we go. Game 1 of Bedlam. We'll be back here tomorrow afternoon with you for Game 2. Sooners have already won the Big 12. Northwestern, your champions of the Big 10. UCLA, a record 12th Pac-12 title. Yet to be decided, possibly by the end of the night, the ACC and the SEC. The magic number for Florida State is 1. It's 2 for Tennessee.
Georgia LSU tied up. They're the ones at second place behind Tennessee.
And Florida State Louisville's a nail-biter late in the game there in Tallahassee. And now Florida State has extended the lead. In the 6th inning, Michaela Edenfield with her 2nd and 3rd RBIs of the night for them.
How about Louisville being in the conversation for an ACC regular season championship if they win 2 against FSU this weekend? When's the last time we said that?
Yeah, terrific season for them. Well, the committee's got some things to deal with as we get closer to that selection Sunday. One of them always is, are you favoring the Power 5 leagues, or do you think that maybe all the parity we've seen around college softball merits 2 or possibly even 3 bids for some of the conferences that may usually only get 1? Ball goes upstairs with the rise.
She's so good at using that drop ball and rise ball. She even got a changeup that was mixed into this at bat too, but this rise ball that has some late break, it's Kylie Naomi to chase out of the strike zone. I think Jordy Ball is doing a good job of bringing down that rise ball, overthrowing it a bit in the 1st inning, but more competitive pitch here in the past couple of innings.
She gets Wark to chase high, 0-1. Michaela popped up the first base, her first time out.
You're seeing her too, I think, expand the zone more on that first pitch. Both the extra base hits off of her have been on the first pitch of the at-bat, so her adjustment is to work more outside of the strike zone, and she's still getting swings and misses like that Work first pitch swinging that she chased out of the zone.
Look at Cheyenne Factor, who has driven in all 3 of the runs with a home run, her 2nd in as many games.
I think that 2nd inning was really big for Jordy Ball after giving up the walks and the home run and the 1st inning. She had that 3-up, 3-down inning in the bottom of the 2nd, including against the leadoff hitter and the 2-hole hitter for Oklahoma State. Helped her settle into this game, you can tell.
And she's done a better job of working from ahead, and then when she is ahead, using those pitches, setup pitches. That last sequence, rise ball well up, comes back, but they drop down in the zone even though it's out of the zone. But her misses are in the direction of the pitch, which is always what you want.
Think rise ball here?
Back underneath the hands.
Close to the drop, actually. Yeah. Surprised to see that. That first rise ball that she threw against Work was such a good pitch, and she just had her guessing a bit. I'd go back to that rise ball.
Definitely not afraid to throw on the inner half. Likes to challenge hitters underneath the hands. When she's on, she's precise on that corner, so a lot of the Cowgirls are off the plate a little bit.
Called strike 3, back to back for Jordy Ball, 2 down.
And because they are off the plate looking at that inside pitch, it's a setup for the outside pitch. So she goes back to this outside corner with a drop ball. And Mackenzie Hansen's going to do a good job to really hold it. Explosive on that outer half after working Work all underneath the hands. Picks up her 4th strikeout. This one looking.
That'll bring up Factor. Her home run came first pitch swinging. You know, as they were getting ready to face Oklahoma, and with some of the troubles they've had the last couple of weeks, it was Rachel Becker and Cheyenne Factor who started to speak up and become more vocal. She actually sought out the Shohei Ohtani video, his pregame speech for Japan just before they beat the United States in the World Baseball Classic this spring, and wanted to show that to the team. And the basic message was, we respect these guys, but we need to stop admiring them and just worry about winning a game against them.
That's right. And so that was her message to the team about
And
Oklahoma.
then she went Ohtani on him.
Yes, she did. I think he had 2 home runs in that game, though, right?
Oh, Smitty's calling it. 0-2 pitch. Right back to Jordy with a backhand and a 1-2-3 inning for the 2nd stanza in a row. And back to the top of the order, already the 3rd time up for Jada Coleman, who has struck out and gotten hit by a pitch. Pops it up to the left side. Naomi is there.
1 pitch out.
Huge.
We got a terrific NL West matchup for you this weekend on Sunday Night Baseball. Game 3 of the series that gets underway tonight out at Petco. It's the Dodgers and the Padres. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern on ESPN and your ESPN app. And a pitching change coming up here for the Cowgirls as Maxwell departs. And Lexi Kilfoyle will come on with 1 down in the 4th.
Has this happened to you? AT&T and Verizon rope you in with phone offers, then bind you to a 3-year device contract. Break free with T-Mobile. Introducing Go 5G Plus, the first plan that always gives new and existing customers the same great device deals, and you're upgrade ready a year earlier. Right now, bring your phone to T-Mobile and get one of the latest 5G smartphones free. Hello? Yes, I'm free. And so are you. No, I'm not tied up at all. Surely this is too many rope jokes.
Break free with Go 5G Plus at T-Mobile.
If you choose curbside when you order ahead in the McDonald's app, you won't have to wait in line when you get here. Genius.
Here you go. Thank you.
Order ahead in the app to save time.
At Jiffy Lube, it's our job to keep you moving. With a full range of services from oil changes and tire rotations to filters, wipers, and more, we've got what your car needs right when you need it, so you're ready for whatever's next. Putting you in the driver's seat of car care, that's a job for Jiffy.
The new pitcher for Oklahoma State is Lexi Kilfoyle, the transfer from Alabama, on to replace Kelly Maxwell in her 25th appearance of the season. This is her 9th relief appearance. And right to work against Tiare Jennings in the 2 spot in the lineup. So the pitching change comes with a slew of right-handers coming up in the batting order for OU. Jennings has reached twice, walked, and then on a fielder's choice. She has scored a pair of runs tonight. She too is one of the National Player of the Year top 10 finalists, along with Jada Coleman and the pitcher tonight, Jordy Ball. They are the only school with 3. UCLA has a couple, Megan Faramo and Maya Brady. Kind of cool this year, guys. You got Maya Brady in the Pac-12, Jada Coleman in the Big 12, and Valerie Cagle in the ACC, all chasing triple crowns this year.
It's impressive. All 3 of them having incredible seasons. Batting average, home runs, RBIs. Leaders in all those categories.
Yep.
In case you don't know what the Triple Crown is, you know that we do have a horse race coming up this weekend.
There is something going on in Kentucky. I do believe I think my pick won the Kentucky Oaks tonight. I'm just going to throw that out there. Yeah. Derby day tomorrow. You can watch both, by the way. Softball and the Derby.
Ours will last longer.
If you'd like, yeah.
Oklahoma continuing to just have good at-bats, not really expanding the strike zone, working now Lexi Kilfoyle deep to a 3-2 count.
It's been nice for Oklahoma State to be able to show 3 different starters in a 3-game series this year. They've really stuck to that going back to earlier in the season and against Florida State, as well as all their Big 12 series. It's a unique thing that you're starting to see in our sport, a 3-woman rotation. We're on game 1, 2, and 3. Tennessee does the same thing as well with their pitching staff.
Or Florida State with like a 7-pitcher pitcher rotation. Ball 4, it's the second time that Jennings has walked. And the home run hitting Sydney Sanders will step in. Took a 2-0 pitch over the center field fence back in the second. And singled in the first, so a terrific Bedlam debut for Sydney. Let's check out the swing.
Well, she just takes a 2-0 pitch. She's hunting something on the inner half and just gets it and drives that to center. Gets extended, barrels that up, and that 3-run shot puts the Sooners back on top of the Cowgirls.
Strike zone. Every pitcher that has pitched in this game has just tried to figure it out. Just a tight strike zone, and you can just always tell with the number of walks and 3-ball counts and a lot of hitters counts in this game.
And that last pitch is a drop ball, slightly elevated, but it still looked like it was at the belt. Decent pitch.
Agree. Another hitters count. Big moment for Lexi Kilfoyle, her first experience too of getting to play in this rivalry game. Big name transfer that hopped in the transfer portal from Alabama.
Two-one pitch from Kilfoyle. Runner was on the move at first, Jennings.
That's a nice pitch by Kilfoyle. Takes a little bit off of that. And she blends all of her pitches so well. Throws about 3 different speeds. And so when she can really vary that velocity and that speed differential, she can keep the hitters off balance.
2-2. Hot shot to third. Bloodworth to second for one. Over to first base, safe. Just missed out on the double play.
And that's a good part about having her in the circle is that she throws a lot of ground ball outs because she throws that drop ball consistently throughout an at-bat. This looked like this could be a 5-4-3 double play, but it's a little slow on, I think, the beginning of that turn starting at third base, and that caused Sydney Sanders to be safe.
Two down with a runner on for Kinsey Hansen. After Kelly Maxwell struck her out twice, she's probably happy to see Kilfoyle.
Yeah, Hansen coming into tonight's game had just 11 strikeouts on the year, so.
Another one of those teams, and they're all near the top, that have way more walks than strikeouts.
.113 coming into today's game, 113 strikeouts to 191 walks.
When you point that out, Beth, I just see Michelle over here glowing.
She gets so
like
excited.
a teacher and a student.
I had to sign an affidavit, sworn affidavit, that I would mention that once a game, so Smitty can tag on that.
Yes. I mean, just this little smile she gave you was just delightful.
Gotta
She's
read the
warm and
numbers.
fuzzy over here with the numbers.
Well, and you know, Oklahoma State's not far behind them. They've definitely got more walks than strikeouts as well. A couple more strikeouts than Oklahoma does, but definitely doing. And that's why this Oklahoma State team early in the year, you know, was bopping it. They were scoring over 6 runs a game, and
This tight strike zone, you can hear the fans starting to get restless too, and just causes these teams who have really good eyes to just take more pitches, go deeper into every count.
well, you know, the fans, they're here to see the athletes swing the bats. You know, it's hard on everybody.
I think it makes the game just go even slower because you have these long at-bats, but also it's just like the amount of time in between pitches. Just great opportunity, I think, to talk about how pitch clock would probably be helpful in our sport. Just gonna throw it out there and put one on a tee for you, Beth.
Yes, got to keep a foot in the batter's box. Yeah, we got to speed up the process of the pitches being called from the dugout.
Well, and
that's 10 free passes. So I mean, that's a whole extra inning and a half of at bats added to the game.
And we're in the top of the fourth.
We are
by the way.
in the top of the fourth.
Kinsey Hansen helping Kilfoyle out on that pitch. That would have been ball 4 with the strike zone that we've had tonight.
Non-competitive. Yeah. Kilfoyle comes on in relief and walks 2 of the first 3 she faces.
that's the 8th free pass that Oklahoma State has given up.
You just look at the scorebook, and it's like just consistent traffic on the base pass all 4 innings that we've played for OU. And then on the other side for Oklahoma State,
Yeah, the last
3 up,
2
3
innings.
down innings, the last 2 innings.
Well, because if you look back at those 2 innings, Jordy Ball has basically been piping it and letting her defense, and then she elevates the rise ball and swing at it. So, because when you do have a small strike zone, you have to figure out a way to get out. You have to figure out a way to take the umpire out of it.
There you go, put it in play, get the pop-up. Side retired, a couple walks, a couple stranded. Patty Gasso, hitters in the order here.
You look back to that first inning, and Oklahoma State had a chance to score more after the Factor home run. There was a walk and then a double.
That's a fair ball, knocked down by Brito, the one hopper over to first, and a big scoop by Sanders. The best fielding team in the country comes up with a gem there.
Alyssa Brito did a good job of going to her backhand and knocking this ball down that was hit down the line. Kept it right there near her and made a quick throw to first. It's Sydney Sanders with that pick, the footwork, the glove work to be able to pick this out of the ground and finish out that out. That's why they're one of the best defenses in the country.
The top fielding percentage, just 14 errors in their 47 games.
That is a tough pick at first base.
Well, and her footwork, like you said, is spot on. Allowed her to get away from the bag and pick the ball and actually decrease that distance on a tight play. They've turned 18 double plays as a team, just those 14 errors.
Well, as Patty likes to say, the defense creates confidence, it changes momentum, it wins championships. That's been a big part of their play at the World Series in years past. They seem to come up with a few web gems to help them through.
I mean, you practice that too. You know you're not going to cleanly field every ground ball that comes to you. So you practice, okay, if I bobble it, what's my body do? Do I pick it up with my bare hand? How does my body feel to pick it up and then make that throw to first base? They practice everything that they're going to face in a game.
And for a strike to Morgan Wynn, 3-1.
Well, the other luxury that the defense has for Oklahoma is that their pitchers don't issue a lot of the free passes, so they're very consistent on their spots as well. So defensively, you can position. You more or less have an idea where the ball's going to be hit.
Came back down to hit Morgan. This ball is able to work it back to 3-2. Wynn's hit twice in this at-bat.
Oh, that hurts, hurts, hurts.
It's always when you know a pitcher's rolling a good drop ball, when you keep hammering it off your feet. Have a tendency to have that ball, it's coming down with that downward rotation. If you just top it and get around it, drive it into your foot.
Ball 4. Well, after the first 4 races of the Formula One season, it's time for the first American Grand Prix of the year. And after tomorrow's qualifying, 20 drivers will face off in Miami on Sunday. Our coverage starts at 2 Eastern on ABC.
I think Max Verstappen's going to win that one again, the world champ. I'm an F1 fan. My driver is Charles Leclerc from Ferrari. That's my fave. I'll be watching.
That has started to take off in the U.S.
3 races in
recent years.
Yeah. Miami, Austin, and Las Vegas. I think, right?
The Las Vegas one, you guys will be down the strip.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
I've seen the setup for that out. It's going to be just absolute bedlam.
Yes.
As if Las Vegas needs more of that, they're going to get it. Taylor Tuck struck out in the first. First base runner, by the way, is erased since that first inning. It bounces off the back wall to Hansen, and she chucks it down to second.
You guys, I saw it before the game. Kenzie Hansen bouncing balls off
that place. And the call stands. 2 down.
Just erased that walk. tag, too, by Grace Lyons.
Yeah, Lyons is your two-time Defensive Player of the Year in the league. So 2 outs now, and a 1-1 pitch to Tuck, who's still at the plate.
Do want to mention Montana Bouts perfect through 5 innings against Ole Miss right now.
Okay.
So little alert.
Yeah. Bouts has basically taken that Alabama team on her shoulders the last couple of weeks.
That might be a team that has to ride the one arm of an ace, which is doable. The trend is away from that, but Tuck to Lyons at short. The defense showing up big for the Sooners here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, the Sooners showing why they are the top defensive team in the nation.
Like pudding.
And so are the Bats. It's like a telephone pole.
Just imagining that, by the way.
I used a 32-ounce bat.
32-ounce bat.
Yeah.
How many of your 9 career? Wait, what's your
No, I don't know
9
career.
in a single season.
9 in a single season.
How many of them were here? You played on this field, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's when you just lie and say all 9 of them were here.
Yes,
all 9
right
of them.
here.
Okay. Yes. Still the longest ever hit at Cowgirl Stadium.
Baylor's up on Texas 9-1 in the top of the 5th. Got told false information. Oh, that is right. Okay. Oh.
Hard shot, but fine. Georgia is leading LSU 1-0 in the 4th. If that stands, then Tennessee's magic number would still be at 1 after their win tonight. And Florida State is back on top after a 3-year absence during the regular season in the ACC. That's a hot team right now.
They've done good in the tournament the last couple of years, but yeah, the regular season went elsewhere.
Yeah.
And Lonnie was big. Lonnie Alameda, head coach of Florida State, was like, wanted that this year because the consistency of being able to win the regular season, just day in and day out.
I think they're
so important.
With these guys, Oklahoma, UCLA, I think Tennessee and Florida State right now would be the 3 and 4.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Real tough calls coming for the selection committee.
Yes.
Seeding, I think, after that is that SEC tournament is going to be absolutely nuts. I think there are still 7 schools that have a chance to host the first weekend of the NCAA tournament if they make a good run in Fayetteville next weekend.
All the tournaments should be meaningful. Of course, the Pac-12 with their first one.
Yeah, and will be important for Arizona because they are on the bubble.
Yes.
They're bubblish.
Pop up in foul territory, 1 down. That is 35 years in a row, by the way, for Arizona in the NCAA tournament. It's also 17 years in a row for Alabama as a seed and a team that gets to play at home. All 17 years of this current format. That may be up for discussion depending on how the Tide finish out. I think Georgia and Texas can make strong cases for a high seed.
Georgia's a team that's been playing very well as of late. Texas, good, scrappy.
There are some others too that we question the RPI, right? Like Stanford's having a great year, but are they the number 1 strength of schedule and a number 3 RPI? I don't know about that one. Louisiana, I have a hard time when they're 2-10 against top 25 competition. Lyons laces one to the gap in left center. And she'll slide in with the 1-out double.
Grace Lyons is just such a leader for this Oklahoma team. The captain just does so many things right. Starts with their defense. She's going to sit on this outside off-speed pitch, and she's just on time and barrels that up into the gap. Plays in front of her, so she knows she can get to second 1-out double for Grace Lyons.
I think Grace Lyons was just happy to see Kelly Maxwell out of the game. In her career, she's batting well over under 100 off of her.
RBI opportunity here for Riley Boone. Singled and scored in the second, walked in the third. The other ones to watch that it's just going to be spectacular conversation. What do you do with Wichita State and Central Arkansas, who are both on the host bubble? Their geography isn't great because they are close to a lot of other schools that will be hosting. Geography usually doesn't count until after the top 16 are seeded. But will their resumes be good enough to host? If not, they're coming to your town with a big old chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. Well, it might be, one of them might be right here.
Yeah. Well, you could be. It could be Arkansas. It could be Oklahoma. It could be Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Central Arkansas is beating Arkansas.
Yep.
Wichita's beating these guys.
Yep.
So
Twice.
Gonna be.
Twice.
I mean, Florida could be on the road in a regional this year. Virginia Tech on the road in a regional this year, all potentially. Auburn, Maddie Penta could be coming to your town.
Yeah. Having an outstanding year, Maddie Penta.
I like some dark horses, too. You get the sense like a Duke and a Washington have sort of been lurking in the shadows.
Yes.
They're putting up some good numbers. They've got some quality wins, but have been kind of out of the limelight, waiting to strike in the postseason. It's mayhem.
I feel like mayhem actually started back in April.
It's like January hem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, regional is just going to be wild. You know it.
Well, you got to be on your A game. You know?
Full count. Feel like we've been saying that a lot tonight.
We have.
Boone wraps one out to left. Runners on the corners now with one out.
Riley Boone has just been so lethal in that 8th spot, you guys. Full of passion. She has a lot of different tools. She's a triple threat with some speed. She can slap, bunt, keep her feet still, and swing away. Stepped across her body to get to that outside pitch and just slash it to the left side of the field.
The defensive replacement in right field, Alina Torres, is now up in the 9th spot in the order. 322 on the season for the transfer from Arizona State. Just a Chamber of Commerce night here in Stillwater. Bedlam hasn't disappointed. We got a one-run game here in the 5th, and Oklahoma threatening again. A couple of hits in the inning off of Lexi Kilfoyle, the bottom of the order. In for a strike and uncontested down to second goes Boone. So 2 in scoring position.
Start to feel like with how Jordy Ball has just settled into this game that it's a huge inning. If they could push across a couple more runs. Face a minimum the past 3 innings.
At third, Boone at second.
Oklahoma State defense slightly pulled in. Becker at second and more than Naomi at shortstop. Corners up.
1-2 to Torres. Pops it up, and that'll fall into right field for a base hit, and a run scores. That one heard Smitty say that the second baseman was pulled in and just dropped it right over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tough
When you
break.
pulled up in that position, it's a jam job, but because Rachel Becker, the second baseman, is pulled up so much, this looks like it could be a routine fly ball out, but it's just Becker in, and that ball is down on the green, and Oklahoma is plating another run.
Generated by the bottom of the order for Oklahoma, and it's back to the top. Fourth time up now for Jada Coleman, who is 0 for 2 and has been hit by a pitch. She's got runners on the corners, still with the 1 out. First pinch hit RBI of the season for Alina Torres here with 1 out. And she's hit again, second time for Jada Coleman, and this loads the bases for Tiara Jennings.
And 4 have reached in a row for OU. 7, 8, and 9, back-to-back-to-back hits, and then that hit by pitch. Tough part about them, too, is that 2 of those 3 hits were 2-strike hits. Oklahoma just so good with 2 strikes.
So good with 2 strikes with runners on. 4 for 12 with runners on, 3 for 8 brisk. That's a 375 average.
Jennings has walked twice and scored twice. And her 68 career home runs has her moving up the charts in Norman. She has 1 grand slam on the season. It's the second time tonight they have had a chance. They could not cash in the bases loaded situation in the first, only got 1 in and then left them loaded.
And Oklahoma State still pulled well in. Just 1 out. Some defenses will play double play depth with 1 out, bases loaded. Oklahoma State choosing to play in.
Also, go ahead.
Tiara Jennings just so clutch and calm in these moments. Michelle, that's what I was going to say, Beth, excuse me, but double play opportunity if they get one quick to go home and then to first. A lot of ground ball outs to Kilfoyle rolls.
Jennings, they'll come to the plate to get the force out for the 2nd out. Big get there for Oklahoma State. And now the home run hitter from the 2nd inning, Sydney Sanders, still with the bases loaded. Two for 3 on the night. This is the part of the order, by the way, that is seeing Kilfoyle now for the 2nd time since she's come on in relief. Torres, Coleman, and Jennings aboard.
took something off that. Nice drop ball in the outer half. Blends those two pitches together. Really hard to see because the rotation is the same.
0-2. Chopped to short, over to first, and they work out of it. One.
Threw out Morgan Wynn, trying to grab second.
And ball here in the bottom of the fifth. Faces 9, and then the top, Megan Bloodworth. Grounded back to Jordy her first time up. And she is aboard with the leadoff here.
Could be a slight open door right there to put the 9-hole on, and then you have the top of the lineup coming up and getting late in this game. It just seems like Oklahoma's offense continues to put pressure on Oklahoma State. Time for Oklahoma State to answer back.
Well, we really haven't applied much pressure since that first inning. All of Oklahoma State's hits, the 2 of them coming in that first inning, along with 3 free passes.
Rachel Becker now coming up for the 3rd time at the top of the order. Walked and scored on the factor home run in the first, grounded to third base in the second. Bloodworth at first base, just their second base runner since that first inning.
Rachel Becker is a really patient hitter, high on base percentage, really good eye, likes to work the count.
Becker fouls one off.
Becker, one of the longest streaks ever reaching for Oklahoma State. In fact, it just came to an end on April 30th, I believe it was.
49 in a row.
Yeah.
Her batting average is on pace to be top 5 single season here at OSU history. 1-2 from Ball. Got her. Strikeout number 5 for Jordy, 1 down.
It's a big out, Michelle, to get her to chase this pitch off the plate. It's a rise ball in the outside corner. Also just moves away. I mean, Jordy Ball, you guys, it's the way that she's able to split the plane with her rise ball and her drop ball and change speeds too. She doesn't have to do that a lot in this game, but she can do it very well, mixed speeds.
Nice off speed there.
Talon Edwards is the batter. Jordy's pitch count just at 72. There have not been a ton of complete games for the pitching staff. Patty has liked to mix it up and put pitchers in different situations. And as we've talked about, you see a lot more relievers and opportunities to come in late in a game, even in a closer situation.
Yeah, it looks like Nicole May actually is in the bullpen right now.
It's an embarrassment of riches, really. You've got May at 15-0 with a sub-1 ERA. You've got Alex Storako at 15-0 with a sub-1 ERA. And oh, by the way, your Friday night starter is Jordy Ball.
Yeah.
Ground ball inside the bag. Foot race, and Edwards wins it.
Talon Edwards has a lot of speed. The freshman has been a game changer for Oklahoma State this year. She can create some havoc with that speed, and this is just a ball that gets down the line, and Sid Sanders is so far pushed over, has to come a long way and then turn around her momentum, and you can see Jordy Ball and Sanders starting to come together and collide, and the foot gets down by Talon Edwards. Really good job of hitting the front of the bag. There's 3 feet going down on that bag. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah. They are going to go review that. Just trying to gauge whether or not Sanders should have let Ball take the base and give her the toss there.
And Jordy Ball just so athletic. The fact that she was even in the mix on just a ground ball to first base. You're right, Beth.
Yeah.
As if she could have tossed it, and 3 feet right, right at the same time.
Call is safe.
Outside and has to go to the inside.
Ooh, that is so close.
So close. I don't know that there's enough to overturn that.
I don't either, and I'm surprised too that Talon Edwards didn't roll her ankle with the way that her right foot hit the side of the base.
Yeah.
Maybe it got there. This is the angle to me that I see
angle,
most.
yeah,
that she's
like,
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were hoping we would have the double base in position this year. And they're going to confirm the call, which means they found evidence that said she was safe.
Or there wasn't enough evidence in their minds to overturn it.
And the go-ahead coming to the plate now. 1-0 the count. Swing and a miss to Naomi.
The off-speed pitch just dips down. You could tell that Naomi thought that she was going to be getting something 68, 69 miles an hour, and guessing a little bit there out of the hand.
Biggest threat since the first inning here for Oklahoma State. Ball ahead 1-2.
And that's where ball's hard, because you swing at something that's a ball completely out of the zone, so she chases you down, and then you watch the good pitch come through the zone.
382 on the season with a runner in scoring position for Kylie Naomi.
And Naomi's gotten a fair share of the off-speed pitches from Jordy Ball. So, you know, I almost think if you know you're getting a lot of off-speed and you can't identify it, you got to sit it, and then react hard. Because otherwise, if you're thinking hard, you cannot react slow.
Bloodworth and Edwards aboard.
This is such a big inning with where OSU was at in their lineup.
Part of the order here. You come to OU, you come to Oklahoma State for moments like this one.
inside pitch, too, that I just feel like she's had a hard time keeping fair. Just looked pretty defensive on it. And because she is thinking about that inside pitch, having to get to it, then it makes her more vulnerable for that off-speed pitch because she's just going to try to be so quick to the inner half.
Remember, coming in for Oklahoma State, losing 7 of their last 9, the struggles have been in these kinds of situations. Now, they came through clutch in the first inning, but on the season, there are 58 left on base just in the last 9 games. They were good early tonight. Another chance here as Naomi tries to shake off the foul ball.
On those last 8, hitting just
right corner.
Well, and it shouldn't be anywhere near the plate. Put it in the river.
Very good off speed.
Kept it away from her.
That's a good job by Naomi just to get rid of it.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat. Got her. Took her to the top step of the ladder. 2 down.
Well, Jordy Ball is working the setup pitch magically, so it's the off-speed off the end of the bat, and then she's going to take Naomi up the ladder with that rise ball, puts it right up at her eyeballs, and when you expand the zone, basically from your ankles to your eyeballs, it's so easy to chase stuff. Takes a lot of discipline to stay off those pitches.
Michaela Ward. A pop-up and a strikeout looking tonight.
She's chased a bit and been really aggressive early in the count. I feel like this is your time to have your best at-bat of the game.
She's the go-ahead at the plate. One. 1-2. One hit tonight with runners in scoring position was the factor home run in the first, and Kenny Gajewski now out arguing with the home plate umpire. I believe he's just been warned.
That's right. Now you could tell Wark just not sure if she wanted to swing. Wondering, I think called on the swing shot or the strike call?
Well, it certainly was a ball. I mean, it was.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I think that's why Kenny was arguing it.
Called a strike, so 1-2. And chases down low in the dirt. And that will end regional as a top 16 seed. Of course, they are the only team this year to beat the Sooners. Did it back in February.
And it was Govan with a big hit in that game.
It was, yes. Big transfer for them.
Since then, the Sooners have rattled off 38 wins in a row. The NCAA record, our partner Jenny Dalton Hill's Arizona Wildcats over the course of a couple of seasons won 47 in a row.
Not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Say that's riding a win streak.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 4 years in a row for Oklahoma with at least 30 straight wins.
And the consistency day in and day out to do that.
What Patty Gasso calls the championship mindset that she started to establish when she arrived in Norman in 1995. That first title coming in 2000. Then they went away for a little bit and returned with a vengeance about 10 years ago. Keilani Ricketts and company. And that is the third hit batter, and Hansen is hurting. Athletic trainer will come out. Kinsey tries to work through it. The starting catcher for the Sooners. She pointed to her wrist on that left hand.
Looks like it's on the wrist or the side of the hand.
See what the call was, because I think that Oklahoma is actually called to review this, so I think they actually called a foul ball off the knob of the bat.
Yes.
I haven't gotten any clarification. What do you think, Michelle?
And, yeah, and the pitch, you can see the way she turns her upper body, and she's so close to the line as she rotates in, and it looks like, I think it went off the hand.
I do too. You can clearly tell she's in a ton of pain immediately.
We've actually come across this now a couple times during the season. Hansen, if they wanted, they can sub her out here for a pinch runner, and she could re-enter. So that'll bring up Alyssa Brito. Alyssa 0 for 2 with a walk. Has a hit in her last 5 games, including the home run midweek.
Oh man.
So
Okay.
the official score now saying it's a 3U, not a strikeout.
So off the bat,
That's a fair ball.
the fair ball, and she goes and
Out at first.
out at first.
This
There we
makes
go.
more sense.
And now he points and he says fair ball.
Yeah.
So they officially called it 3.
Okay. So really what Patty was challenging too was that she thought it hit off of her hand to the first baseman, not the knob of her bat to the first baseman. Wow. That was going to bother me all night if we didn't get that taken care of.
We've seen some wacky stuff.
Yeah. Now, if she would have swung and it hit her, that could have been then strike 3.
Yes. Guilfoyle gets the swing and miss. Full count. Now the bigger issue is the health of the hand of Kenzie Hansen. She's left the dugout back towards the clubhouse. I think she may be heading out to the bullpen to see if she can catch.
Yeah, because that's her
Because that's her glove hand.
her receiving hand.
Looks like she's out there with Nicole May. Brito launches that one deep, way back and way out. Home run, Oklahoma. Alyssa Brito, the deep launch to left.
Alyssa Brito is one of those hitters that can be silent in the order and then all of a sudden emerge. And she takes this 3-2 pitch and just pulverizes it. Her 13th home run of the year. This is a drop ball in the inner half. She is on time, and she just drives that out of the yard. Brito, the transfer from Oregon, has made a massive impact after coming over 2 years ago. That ball's well gone. Brito with her 13th home run, opening up the gap.
Second game in a row for Brito. And it's now 6-3 Sooners.
That is not an easy pitch to keep fair, by the way. Low and inside. With the angle that her bat got to that pitch, it was just a towering fly ball. And that went beyond the street, I think, over toward the porta potties out there.
That was way back.
Wow.
Towards the food trucks.
Yes.
I think that was an 8-iron. Hanson, by the way, her stay in the bullpen was short-lived, so either she feels all right, or with the Brito home run, perhaps they go to a backup catcher and get her some rest. It's like they might even be taping up her wrist. Well, she's still got the glove in her hand. Second home run of the ball game for Oklahoma with Brito and Sanders. Off of two different pitchers tonight. Right back to Kilfoyle.
It just goes back to being so good with 2 strikes.
Yeah, so good with 2 strikes and to find holes in swings. And if you look at Brito's spray chart, 10 of her 12 home runs leading up to that at bat are center left. So my whole point is, why are you throwing to the low inside corner? If you're going to throw that drop ball, throw it to the outer half.
Yes.
And make her get around it and maybe play pickle with your left side infield, or make her hit it the opposite way, where only 2 of her 12 home runs have gone. So I think that there's got to be, and Lexi, that's a perfect drop on the outer half. She can throw to that corner. Now, granted, umpire hasn't always called that pitch, or they have, Oklahoma's been disciplined not chasing out there.
Two-0 pitch.
Another 3-0 count.
And you can see that Taylor Tuck's talking to the bench. So Hanson's got their wrists taped up and should be back in.
Better gear on.
Yeah.
Kilfoyle comes back in with the strike. On the 145th pitch of the night for the 2 Pokes pitchers.
You know, Oklahoma is excited too that they're seeing Lexi Kilfoyle in this game.
Absolutely.
And that always helps for the rest of the series to be able to throw or see both the aces of the staff for OSU.
That was the 13th 3-ball count of the evening for the Oklahoma batters, and now their 10th free pass. So 10 additional at-bats, right, for the team with the best batting average and slug in the country.
So all that does too is just make the top of the lineup come back up again in the 7th inning. They're gonna have to face them.
Boone. Two and up.
Bottom of the lineup has been very good for Oklahoma.
You see JT Gasso, who works with the hitters.
Oh, got that call right there. Haven't seen that called much in this game. I'm sure Lexi Kilfoyle will take it based off of just the feel of this inning and where they're at in their order when they get this third out.
There's JT, one of the front runners on the analytical side of the hitting that has now become such a big part of the preparation and the training. Boone, fly ball out and left and fighting it all the way, but making the catch is Edwards. But another one on the board with the long ball from Brito.
Alyssa Brito now 13
Hooks out still to work with. They're down 6-3. And ball in for a strike to Cheyenne Factor. 5, 6, and 7 coming up. Jordy with 3 strikeouts in the last inning to take care of the top of the order.
The way that she settled into this game, I mean, it's tough to come here in this rivalry game, pitch in front of this hostile crowd, not easy. And, you know, she didn't look really sharp in the bottom of the first inning, but then she recovered in the bottom of the second, 3 up, 3 down, and that's really when things turned for her and their defense.
1-1 pitch to Factor.
Patty Gasso says that she's super competitive, and you can just tell, like, celebrating that last low rise ball on the corner. Thrives in environments like this.
Word has reached us too out of Oxford, Mississippi tonight. Congratulations to Montana Fouts, the Alabama ace, with a perfect game to beat Ole Miss.
Pigeon flew us that message from
came
Oxford
in
to
the window.
Stillwater.
Was that probably her first perfect game since the World Series a couple years ago?
How about Alabama, over 100,000 fans in Tuscaloosa at their home games this season. Talked about the attendance records here and breaking all over the country, and they're part of that too.
Well, as administrative athletic departments around the country start pouring money into a lot of new facilities, so softball has to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
Money makers. Of course, the new Loves Field is set to be ready to roll next spring for Oklahoma softball. Their new home after 25 years at Marita Hines Field.
AD here, Chad Rydberg. had made announcements, as well as Dr. Casey Schrum, who's the president of Oklahoma State. Announcement of the new softball stadium as well for Oklahoma State and Kenny Gajewski, Cowgirls. But to your point, even Love Field, I think they had to add more seats before they even broke ground. And here, Jesse Martin as well works in the administration, and bringing in the extra 500 seats in the outfield. So all these facilities needing a little bit more room.
3-2 Factor on the run and dropping it in fair territory was Hodge, the new right fielder. That was so close to the line. Oklahoma is considering taking another look at this.
It's off the end of the bat. She gets under it, but Avery Hodge having to come a long way, and it looks like she overruns it, almost looks like a little bit. And
well, the umpire was right there staring at it, and he immediately called it fair.
That's tough when you're running that hard. Sometimes your eyes start to shake a little bit, goes off of the glove. So that's a big break for Cheyenne Factor, who ends up at second base.
We're into the 6th inning now, so.
I don't know about that.
Wow. I mean, that's.
I'll write it as a double, but I think that should go down as an error.
A double protest?
Yeah, with 2 analysts up in the booth.
We're always harder on ourselves. The expectation, hey, if it hits your glove, I mean. So here's Carlisle, 0 for 1 with a walk.
Of close pitches that were both called balls.
Approaching 100 on the pitch count for Jordy tonight. Two and two.
Can see this late break too that Jordy Ball has. It's tough as a catcher. I think she likes to throw too to Kenzie Hansen. I'm sure their everyday starting catcher, and to now go to somebody else late in this game and potentially tomorrow for the rest of the series.
Strikeout number 8 for Ball. 1 down.
The ball just keeps expanding the zone. Carlisle, good job laying off the rise ball, but this pitch on the outer half, expanding the zone now east and west, and getting Carlisle to swing through it.
That'll bring up Morgan Wynn, a double and a walk tonight for Morgan.
Jordy's been really good about following up a hit with a strikeout. That's happened now 3 times in this game. Once she got through that first inning, she gave up anything going right at the next hitter.
Working with a new catcher this inning, with Nugent replacing the injured Kenzie Hansen. Right center, Coleman has the range to get there and the arm to keep the runner at second base, 2 down. Got more coming your way tonight with NBA playoff coverage out in Phoenix. coming up soon on ESPN and the ESPN app. It's Game 3 with the Nuggets leading the Suns 2-0. Looking awfully good at home those first 2 games. And a pinch hitter here with 2 outs will be Claire Tim, the freshman out of Buena Park, California.
Tim has been getting some playing time at third base at times.
I got the start in the Texas Tech series. This is just her 26th at-bat of the season, so they want to take a look at her. They like her bat. They like Bloodworth's glove right now at third base. Trying to get the runner at second home, Cheyenne Factor. Down to their final 4 outs. Game 1 of Bedlam, with the Sooners coming in winners of 38 games in a row. Just a single loss to Baylor in a 46-1 campaign so far for the 2-time defending champs. Another terrific atmosphere here tonight.
I mean, to score on them is a big deal.
Yeah.
OU has 29 shutouts. That's 62% of their games. The other team hasn't scored a run. So it almost feels like a win at times, honestly, to even score off of Oklahoma.
Well, they took the 3-1 lead in the first inning. That's just the 11th inning that Oklahoma has trailed through this 38-game win streak.
Well, and they hit a home run off Jordy Ball, which that's just the 6th she's given up, and then Factor's double here. That's just the 3rd double she's given up all year.
Yeah, not many extras. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Patty let her go in the 7th. We've seen Alex Storako up in the bullpen of late. She's back in the dugout now. Oklahoma State fans hoping for a late rally. Regent and smile. We see the blue tape there on the chest protector. That is a calming, soothing color for Jordy Ball. And the way she's been pitching, calming and soothing for Sooner Nation. To the 9 spot now.
It's a big win within this game that Oklahoma is getting to see 3 different Oklahoma State pitchers.
I think a lot of clubs are choosing to pitch by committee to Oklahoma, but honestly, I think the biggest advantage is just the sheer number of pitches that they saw from each pitcher.
Yeah. Well, they saw, what, 3 innings of work from both Kilfoyle and Maxwell tonight.
That's what was so defeating in this game, that you mentioned Oklahoma State taking the lead in the first inning, Beth, and then OU turned right back around in the top of the 2nd and punched back with their 3-run home run. Just can't breathe, the opposing team.
And they almost thrive on that, like the pressure being down, an environment like this. I've never seen a team that celebrates a walk, a strike, you know, but that's the reason why they are relentless.
Three-one count. got an NL West matchup for you on Sunday Night Baseball. The Dodgers now in first place in the West, taking on the Padres from Petco Park. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern on ESPN and your ESPN app. 1-0 lead for the Dodgers tonight, early in game 1 of that series. As the moon peeks through the branches of the trees tonight.
Did a lunar eclipse last night or tonight? I think it's happening.
Getting all astronomical on us now.
Talking F1, a little bit of this and
Expanding
that.
people's horizons. 0-1 to Jada Coleman. Beth Mullins, Michelle Smith, Neil deGrasse Tyson with you tonight here in Stillwater. She's been hit by pitches twice tonight. This is her 4th plate appearance. Opposite way and foul.
You know, it's wild with all those free passes that we've continued to mention. Hit by pitch, walks, only one of them is scored. Someone wants to triple check beyond that.
Oh.
That was back in the 1st inning.
You are correct.
Yep, but the hit batter in the second, the fielder's choice. But yes, you're exactly right. I mean, all those, it's a miracle that they have not scored more. Oklahoma State has gotten out of some big innings, left the bases loaded twice, left 2 on in the 3rd and the 4th each.
OU has left 11 on base.
Yes.
So we'll roll to first. 1 down. Nugent over to second. Shari Jennings has reached base all 4 times she's come up. She's scored twice. Due up in the bottom of the 7th, by the way, for Oklahoma State, 9, and then the top of their order. Bloodworth would be due to lead off if they want to start a late rally.
It's crazy. The top of the order in 5 plate appearances in this game. For OU.
Yeah, that's a lot over the minimum.
The top 3 have reached 9 times tonight. They've scored 3 times and have driven in 3 runs. Jennings, base hit. Nugent heads for home and scores. Aggressive base running for Oklahoma. And they pad the lead.
Well, this ball hit right back up the middle. Factor in center field was playing deep. So Patty reads that and is going to send her home. It's a drop ball in the inner half, just gets shot up the middle. And Nugent actually has to let that ball go through the wicket, so she's has to pause a little bit. But Factor's so deep, not able to make the throw home, and Sooners played another run.
Well, that's the kind of stuff we talk about, that they just keep the pedal to the metal. Like, you give them just a little opening like that and kind of nonchalant, and a runner scores on a play that you thought she would have been held at third base.
Yes. Again, walk to the number 9 hitter. She advances on a productive out, which is something also the Sooners have been strong at doing this year. Their outs are productive. They move up and then they capitalize.
Well, they've scored now in 5 different innings. It's just another thing that's so defeating if you're their opponent.
50 RBI, by the way, now for Jennings, and Sanders with another base hit.
Sanders has been hot tonight.
That's her third.
Just tell that she's just so much more comfortable than at the beginning of the year. Coach Gasso talked about her just having to learn their process of hitting and the language and practicing it and learning from JT Gasso.
On just the sheer number of hits also tonight, Amanda, that Oklahoma has been in leveraged counts. Almost every one of their at-bats, they have hit in a leveraged count where the hitter is ahead and the pitchers are, in a pinch situation.
Well, we've reached the part of the batting order that was Kinsey Hansen's, and so Jocelyn Erickson will be the pinch hitter here. Her Bedlam debut for the freshman out of Phoenix. And the prep player of the year out there. Huge first half of the year for Jocelyn and has tapered in the second half. Jennings and Sanders aboard. Check foul by Erickson. Brito's on deck. The home run in the 6th inning, her last time up. Two-two pitch.
And this is what Oklahoma does so well, is also they just continue to foul off pitches. Just continue to work your pitch count up. So you throw a good pitcher's pitch and they foul it off. It's really hard to find the out pitch against them.
Full count. Jennings and Sanders ready to run. Erickson drives that one back to the wall in left. 1 run is in. Sanders will hold at third. RBI double as the pinch hitter Erickson delivers.
Michelle, you were just talking about it, fouling off pitches with 2 strikes and then making Rosenberry throw even more pitches within this at bat, and then finally she has to come more up in the strike zone with that drop ball, and Erickson just short to it to the left side, finding that hole. Erickson, a freshman who has so much potential and talent for Oklahoma, coming off the bench, getting an RBI.
That could be a big confidence booster for her. Still just the 1 out for Brito here with 2 aboard. Good snag by Tuck behind the point.
You know, a lot of right-handed power in this Oklahoma lineup. Just the two lefties of Boone and Coleman. If they could get Erickson in that starting lineup and add a little power from the left-hand side that she showed earlier this season, that would be big. Just even more depth in their lineup.
Yeah, she only hit
Wow, and that was a good piece of hitting.
Well, that's where her strength numbers are. I mean, you really look at the spray charts for this Oklahoma team, and they have distinct power zones. And if you go there when you have to throw a strike, you're flirting with some danger.
Got a loose stirrup on Rosenberry. Here's the 2-2 to Brito.
How they're trying to stay away, too, from going low in with Kilfoyle, trying to stay on the outer half now.
Well, in my opinion as well, from being a pitching coach, this is why you need to have pitches that run. This is why you have to have a curveball and expand the zone east and west. And when you're not getting north and south calls, or you're going into that danger zone where potentially that's their hot pocket.
And that hit her. Second free pass of the inning and the 12th of the game. Had a grand slam, did the Sooners in the 7th inning on Tuesday night in their win over Tulsa. That was Alyssa Brito.
Oklahoma State pitchers have thrown 181 pitches.
Wow.
Wow.
This is 182 coming.
In comparison, Jordy Ball has thrown 108.
To Lee.
She's trying to hit a grand slam with that swing. 2-0, just letting it rip. It's a big swing. She's such a good hitter. Always so calm in the box.
Haley Lee out to center. Factors under it. And the runners will hold, so no chance to advance, 2 down. And that'll bring up Grace Lyons.
You can tell they try to keep their energy up even in these long games. I mean, we're now at 3 hours and 20 minutes, and they have 8 runs on the board. They try to not ride the lulls. They try to take those lulls and turn it into momentum for them. Stay up all the time.
Tremendous awareness of when their opponents are on their heels a little bit. Erickson out there at second base. RBI double for her in the inning. Tiare Jennings, RBI single for her here in the 7th. At some point, you'd think maybe Oklahoma State wants to try and pick up the tempo here between pitches. Hey, we can't win this thing until we get back up to bat. So right off of Rosenberry, came right back at her. And they'll record the out at first to end the inning. And it will be the last opportunity coming up. Oklahoma in front, 8-3.
Tired the last 15 of the 20 batters that she's faced.
Quincy Lillo is the new right fielder out there for Oklahoma.
It's the 4th different one we've had.
Yes.
And ball goes to work with the pinch hitter, Lott. 9 spot in the order. Brings up Katie. Freshman out of Cypress, Texas. And then the top of the order. Down 8-3 in game 1 of the Bedlam series. Sooners 3 outs away from their 39th consecutive win.
And that last pitch is what I think Jordy Ball has really honed in on throughout this game, is that low rise ball. She can throw that for a strike and then get hitters to watch that and then elevate it and get hitters to chase the high rise ball.
Foul ball. A Sooner win would improve them to 18-0 against ranked opponents. And this would be the 8th top 10 RPI win of the season.
Wow.
They've taken down just about everybody else that will be a high seed in the NCAA tournament.
Well, this is by far the hardest strength of schedule that Patty Gasso has scheduled for the Sooners. The last couple years, a little worried about the strength of schedule, and she tightened things up. A couple of trips to the SEC.
Lions deep in the hole, throws to first, not in time, and Lott is aboard.
When this goes off the bat, you think, oh, it's a base hit through the 5-6 hole, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, wait a second, Grace Lyons is going to go get that. And this is why she is one of the best shortstops in the country. It looks like it's going to be an easy base hit to left field. She scoops it up and makes it a close play at first. And now she's saying, oh, I should have bounced it, you know, because when you bounce it down, it sometimes picks up speed.
Bloodworth will come back in to run.
Just that one motion when she went to her backhand and transferred it to her bare hand. She just made it look so smooth.
I love putting on the brakes in one step.
Yeah.
Like, did not even get out on the grass. Stopped, turned.
It takes so much strength and body awareness, athleticism to do that, to put your foot in the ground like that and stop all your energy.
Good job by freshman Katie Lott. Big situation to come up in the Bedlam in the bottom of the 7th and lead off with a base hit.
And you pass the bat to the top of the order, and a diving play made by Lions robs Becker.
Continues to get tested. I didn't know if for sure she needed to lay out for this one necessarily, but like it was in the air for a while. Yeah, and last minute just need to leave her feet to go get it before it headed into that 5-6 hole. Grace Lyons having some fun covering some ground at shortstop right now. Ball's finding her.
What a play by Grace for the first out.
And so we talk about how good the pitching staff is for Oklahoma, and again, that defense just showing up behind them. You do actually make contact, and then you've got the best defense in the country behind to cut it down.
#1 fielding percentage, #1 ERA, #1 batting average, #1 scoring. Edwards 1 for 3 with a single tonight.
Really interested to see how Kenzie Hansen is able to recover, how long she's going to be out. Just a lot of questions. I mean, you think about for Oklahoma, her being the starting catcher past couple of seasons and what she brings to their offense as well. Experience back behind the plate to handle this pitching staff. They love throwing to her. Be a developing situation. Hopefully she's able to recover. Be keeping her eye on that.
got hit on the left hand, her glove hand, during one of her at-bats tonight and could not. She tried to return the following inning to catch. Look at her, though. They're still involved, still behind Jen Rocha calling the pitches. Jordy Ball with the rise. Full count.
And you think about who you have behind Jordy Ball for the rest of this series. You have Nicole May and Alex Storako, who are likely to start Game 2 and Game 3. Just doesn't get it any easier.
Opposite way, Riley Boone. 2 down. And down to their final out now for Kylie Naomi. Walked and scored in the first and then struck out a couple of times since. Don't forget, we will have Game 2 of the series for you, 5 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN. Right back here at Cowgirls Stadium. On the road to the Women's College World Series. One and one. Ground ball to the left side, ball game. Sooners take Game 1 of Bedlam, 8-3, your final 15th win of the season for Jordy Ball and her.
Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned on so wide. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned on so wide. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned on so wide. So did the effect on your smile Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. I never want to leave you at any cost. I have given all my efforts to be with you. I pray that you stay by my side and keep my promises. You are the best part of my life. You will fill my life with so much love and heart with internal happiness. Imagining my life without you seems impossible now. I'm fortunate that I have for you. I never want to leave you at any cost. I have given all my efforts to be with you. I pray that you stay by my side and keep my promises. You are the best part of my life.